You would probably say that I look weird. Like you would probably be saying, oh, stop by itself. You know, I would probably be asking like a question in class, you know, like I would probably be raising my hand and be like, you know, would ask something that, you know, everybody in the class would just stop and look at me like, did you really ask that? And the teacher would be like, wait, what's your question? And then I asked my question again, and the teacher, are you serious? Did you really just ask that? Like, it makes no sense. And at that point, I'm like, why would it make sense? Well, wait, but then, thinking about it, with time, after like 10 minutes or something, or, well, not always 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes, then I realize why most other people right away think it's stupid. But I don't have that right away. It takes me time. So I'm able to think just as well as any other person. It just takes me longer. So this is why if you read something, you know, an elaborate post that I've made on that message board, you know, arguing whatever it is that I'm arguing, you can see like well-defined arguments, you know, paragraphs and in, you know, propositions and whatever, and it sort of makes logical sense whether or not the conclusion is good. You know, the argument at least makes some sense, you know, that it's not complete nonsense. But if I think fast, you know, on the run like that, I can't really make arguments like that, because I need time to think, and if I have to think right away, I'm going to say things that just don't make sense, and then thinking about those things later, I'm going to say, wow, this is ridiculous, right? So, like, how am I take this off without burning my head? Okay. So, let's try to see if we can mix the coffee with the meat. So the thing is, you ask yourself, what am I saying here? Right, so like, you have to think fast, and like, you know, when I go somewhere, like, okay, I want to take the subway, you know, there's maybe 50% chance that I'm going to forget something, like, you know, my cell phone, or keys, or wallet, whatever. I'm always going to forget something. And the reason for that is, I mean, if I was to sit down and think, okay, what do I need with me when I go out? And I get everything right, okay, there's no problem, I go. But, you know, I just get dressed and, you know, okay, get my wallet, whatever. And since I have to think quickly, my brain just doesn't work. And I always forget something. I'm always going to forget my wallet or my cell phone, or both. You know, or I'm going to go out without my shoes, you know, or and then I'm walking, you know, with socks, and, you know, it's cold, and I'm thinking about something else. I'm looking at the sky. Wow, it's blue. And look at that cloud. And then I'm walking on the snow with my socks on. And then I walked maybe 10 meters. Oh my God, I forgot my shoes. But I don't realize it right away, because it's like it takes time before my brain can register the information. It doesn't come right away. It takes time. So that's why, you know, making these videos, just trying to talk about whatever comes to mind like that. I'm going to say some pretty stupid things because I don't really have time to think, oh, is this true or is this not true, you know? Yeah, this is why I can post on a message board and say things and look, you know, pretty intelligent, and then, you know, appear in person and look like a complete idiot. That's the reason. Because I can think just as well as a normal person. It just takes me time. I have to think, and like, slowly, because I don't get like right away what normal people get right away. It just takes time, you know. I don't want this to drip over. It's supposed to be like coffee, but with meat in it. Probably some of the meat is going to melt inside the coffee, or like, you know, it's gonna be like, probably just gonna be the smell or the taste. I'm not sure exactly how it's gonna look. Maybe I should have cut the meat in pieces. Well, it's ground meat, so it should separate. If it spills over, it's probably gonna break or something. I don't know. But anyway, so this is why, you know, I can ask questions in a classroom, say, you know, something completely nuts that just doesn't make any sense. Well, best example, when I was in high school a long time ago, the teacher was talking about living organisms, right? And so he was saying, you know, general rules how to recognize something that is alive. And he was saying, well, there's something that grows, that has kids, that can have kids, that can reproduce, right? And then there's something that can die. So I raised my hand in the middle of the class, and the teacher says yes. And I asked, does it mean that the sun is alive? I mean, what the fuck, the sun? It's like, yeah, but you got the little star, right? And then kind of it grows, it becomes the sun, and kind of like with time it gets smaller, and then there are other suns, like, you know, that somehow like they keep coming back for some reason, like, you know, with this definition they're alive. And a teacher would got mad and say, okay, look, is there a daddy sun and a mommy sun and a little kid sun? Are they gonna fuck to make the other sun? And then the whole class was like laughing. It's like, who's this clown? And of course, later on, thinking about it, yeah, that was a stupid question. But when I was actually asking that, I was serious. I didn't think I was trying to be funny. I didn't think I wanted to make a joke. I was serious. I was asking the question seriously, with a serious mind, right? And you know, then people came up to me and said, well, why are you bothering the class like that? Well, why are you bothering the class? So sometimes I think, well, maybe it's fair if I don't ask any questions, because it's probably going to be a stupid question, right? It has to be stupid. So am I acting when I make these videos? I don't know. I'm always acting, no matter what I'm doing in life. But there's no way I can make a video and be the real me, because there's no real me. Sometimes when I look at the videos, I say, well, I sound kind of sad, I sound kind of depressed. I think usually I'm more lively, I'm more, you know, normal, but, like, more like, cheerful or whatever. But, I don't know. I don't know if this is fake, because, in a way, my life is fake. From the day I was born, well, from as far as I can remember, everything that I've lived through, in a way, has been fake, because I never really knew how I could act or react to certain situations. It was always different. I was always somehow different. I was always strange. I think all the water got through. I was always strange, you know? And so, are these videos fake? Well, sort of. Am I just being me? Well, there is no me. There is no real me. I say things and I just, you know, what the fuck am I talking about, you know? It's like, why am I saying that? This doesn't make sense. Like, in another video I made, I was talking about, you know, how you could pull yourself up, like, and fly, you know, right? And I knew it was impossible. I knew you can't lift yourself up and fly, but I was thinking, why not? You know, why not, right? And only thinking about it later, I was like, oh yeah, well, that's true. But, you know, like, my argument was, okay, like, I can lift this, right? But it's not because, like, say my finger is attached. Even if my finger was glued on that, I could still lift it. So if my arm is glued to my body, why can't I fly if I lift myself? You know, it's not because my arm is glued to my body that I can't lift myself, because even if my finger is glued to this, I can lift this, right? So I knew it was impossible, but while I was saying that, it didn't really come to my mind, oh, but why is it impossible? There's got to be something that makes it impossible, but my mind didn't work. It just kind of like blanked. And and I think about it later, and I say, okay, yes, well, the reason why I can lift this, even if my finger is attached to it, it's because my finger is attached to my hand, and you know, somewhere, you know, it's attached to my feet, and my feet touch the ground. So by pushing my feet on the ground, I can lift something else. But if I try to lift myself, there's nothing that stays on the ground to provide the counterweight. And so that's what I thinking about it later, said, okay, that's what it's like. But on the moment like that, it's like, why is it impossible? There's got to be something. It just in the it doesn't make sense, you know. So that's the thing. That's why